Hi, you guys. Welcome to the Sex and the City series, or at least welcome back. Oh, what? My imaginary Charlie's Sex and the City producers are saying that I don't look fabulous enough. Please take care of me. Doo-doo. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Do 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 do. Da 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 do 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 do. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. Do do da 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 da. Oh, what are you guys doing to me? Making me look fabulous for Sex in the City? Oh, snap. Well, I think something's missing, you guys. Now that I look absolutely fabulous here on the Sex in the City series, something is definitely missing. Welcome back to the Sex and the City series here on my YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. I am Charlie, aka Miss Charlize. I guess my producers wanted to make sure that I looked absolutely fabulous for tonight's programming, of course. Now, to start tonight's show off, ladies and gentlemen, I have a little lip singing song to do for you guys. Now, this song is related to the Sex and the City movie, and let me tell you why. A couple of years ago, when I went to go see the actual movie, the first Sex and the City movie that came out, there was a scene in the movie where Carrie Bradshaw was posing for a Vogue magazine, where basically her boss was like, we want you to pose for wedding dresses, wedding gowns, or whatever. And as she was posing, this very song that I'm about to play and lip sync to you guys played in the background. And let me tell you, this song definitely does make you feel picture perfect beautiful, okay? Just as Carrie did when she was modeling or sporting off those dresses in the movie. So I'm going to play this song for you, and then right after this song and my fabulous lip singing, we're going to get straight to the next chapter here in the fabulous Sex and the City book. So, ladies and gentlemen, this song is a Click Flash by Sierra, and if you do not feel pretty after this song like Carrie did in the movie, something's wrong. Here we go, you guys.
I know you probably think a girl like me is oh so vain. Because I love it when the cameraman screams out my name. He says, hey there, look here, turn left, right, up, down, and I feel so beautiful, my lady, this is out of cloud. Oh, I feel so ready. Picture perfect beautiful. Oh, don't you feel pretty? Like you're putting on a show. A show. And the camera slide. Click, click, flash. And the camera slide. Click, click, you feel pretty? Like you're putting on a show, a show. Camera style, click, click, flash, flash. And the camera style, click, click, flash. Beautiful baby. Snap, snap, freeze. Pose, look back, look back. Man, I ain't never seen a girl Vogue like that, like that. I got my Kodak systematic. I grab it and I click and flash. They grab their camera phones whenever I be switching past. So ultra fabulous, my jeans, they fit me crazy. Them boys be yelling out, you beautiful baby. So pretty. So particular, don't you feel pretty? Like you're putting on a show. Camera style, click, click, flash.
Uh-oh, it's skipping.
And the camera style, click, click, flash. Beautiful baby. So pretty. Don't you feel pretty? Like you're putting on a show. Camera style, click, click, flash, flash. Beautiful baby. And the camera style, click, click, flash. Beautiful baby.
That was Click Flash by Sierra, you guys. So if you do not feel pretty by now, maybe you should rewind that song and listen to it all over again, you guys. Anyway, that song was featured in the first Sex and the City movie when Carrie was doing the Vogue magazine dress wearing thing, whatever it's called. Alright, you guys, so let's go ahead and get on with the reading. First of all, do like a quick little summary. We left off on chapter... I believe we are on chapter 7. No, actually, we're on chapter 8. Because we just got done... we were talking a lot about Alameda, Carrie's friend, Alameda or whatever. Talking a lot about her. Samantha got introduced into it finally. So we were learning more about her. So anyway, if you have not seen chapters 1 through 7, be sure to go back on my videos and check out those videos, you guys. And as I was talking about the other day, there's this one video, I believe it is chapter 4 or 5, that has, last I checked, 112 views on it compared to the other videos. It's like people are only watching that one video. So if you want to make sense to the whole series so far, go back and check out those other videos. So anyway, you guys, we are on chapter, let me make sure. We are on the right one. Okay, yeah. We are on chapter 8, the Manhattan Menage. 7 men pop the inevitable question. I hope I said that word right. Alright, you guys, so here we go. Actually, yeah, that's it. Alright, here we go, you guys. I'm at dinner with the man. We're into a second bottle of 1982 Chateau Latour. I hope I said that right. Maybe it's our 3rd date, maybe our 10th. It doesn't matter, because eventually it always comes up. The inevitable. He begins. Yes, I ask, leaning forward. He rests his hand on my thigh. Perhaps he's going to pop the question. It's not likely, but then again, what is? He begins again. Have you ever... Yes. Have you ever... wanted to... What? Have you ever wanted to have sex with another woman? He asked, triumphant. I'm still smiling, but there it is, sitting on the table like a puddle of vomit. I already know what's coming next. With me, of course, he says. You know, a threesome. Then comes the kicker. We could maybe get one of your friends. Why would I want to do that? I asked. I don't even bother inquiring why he thinks one of my friends might be interested. Well, I would like it, he says. And besides, you might like it too. I don't think so. A sexual variant. New York is a place where people come to fulfill their fantasies. Money, power, a spot on the David Letterman show, and while you're at it, why not two women? And why not ask? Maybe everyone should try it at least once. Of all the fantasies, it's the only one that exceeds expectations, said a photographer I know. Mostly, life is a series of mild disappointments. But two women, no matter what happens, you can't lose. That isn't exactly true, as I discovered later. But the threesome is one fantasy at which New Yorkers seem to excel. As one male friend of mine said, it's a sexual variant as opposed to sexual deviant. Another option in the city of options. Or is there a darker side to threesomes? Are there a symptom of all that's wrong with New York, a product of the combination of desperation and desire particular to Manhattan? Either way, everyone has a story. They've done it. Know someone who did or saw three people about to do it, like those two top models who recently pulled a male model into the men's room at Tunnel, forced him to consume all of his drugs, and then took him home. A menage a trois involves the trickiest of all relationship numbers, 3. No matter how sophisticated you think you are, can you handle it? Who gets hurt? Are 3 really better than 2? Lured perhaps by the promise of free drinks, free joints, and free honey-roasted peanuts, 7 men joined me in a recent Monday evening in the basement of a Soho art gallery to talk about threesomes. There we found the photographer and 1980s ladies man, Peter Beard, on his hands and knees. He was collaging, painting shapes in some of his black and white animal photographs. Some of the photos had rust-colored footprints on them, and I remembered I had heard Peter using his own blood. He was wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Peter is a sort of wild man, about whom one hears stories like he was married to 1970s super babe Cheryl Teagues. True, that once, in Africa, he was hogtied and nearly fed to some animals. Probably not true. He said he would work while he talked. I'm just doing work all the time, Peter said, just to ward off boredom. Everyone made cocktails, and then we lit the first joint, except for Peter. The men asked me to change their names for this article. Using our real names wouldn't be good for our client base, said one. We launched into the topic of discussion. It's an avalanche right now, Peter said. I know some girls, one of whom I'm meeting tonight, who says that over 90% of her girlfriends have propositioned her. This is definitely a new phenomenon. Peter dipped his brush in the red paint. The modeling industry, he said, seemed to be grooming women for threesomes. Agents and bookers are pushing favors from the girls to get their bookings. Then he added, all the models are getting stroked in the loo. Tad, 41, a Golden Boy architect, remained skeptical. I think the numbers are being kept by the Government Census Bureau. But he went on, women physically represent more sensuality and more beauty, he said, so it's easier for a man to fantasize about 2 women together. 2 men together is kind of a dry fantasy. Peter looked up from his spot on the floor. Women can sleep in the same bed, and no one thinks anything about it, he said. We applaud it, said Simon, 48, the owner of a software company. It's very unlikely any of us would sleep in the same bed with each other. I just wouldn't do it, said Jonesy, 48, an East Coast-based record executive. He looked around. The reason men don't do it is because most other men snore, said Peter. Plus, it's not good for the nervous system. It brings up all kinds of deep-rooted fears, said Simon. There was a moment of silence while we looked around the room. Peter broke the tension. The underground reality of this is the biological rat studies, he said. Density, stress, and the overcrowding of the niche structures. The first phenomenon of overcrowded rats is the separation of the sexes. And in this city, with all the lawyers and all the overcrowded niche structures, you have incredible pressure. Pressure fucks up the hormones. When the hormones are screwed up, there are more homosexuals, and homosexuality is nature's way of cutting down on population. All these unnatural things we're talking about exponentially expand. That sums it all up, Tad said dryly. We're leading centuries-saturated lives, Peter said. High density, intensity, millions of appointments, millions of lawyers' appointments. A simple thing is no longer fun. Now you have to have 2 or 3 girls or exotic strippers at pure platinum. On the other hand, the reason to have multiple sex partners could just be curiosity, said Tad, without being overly analytical. I think that's the word. But Peter was on a roll. How about insecurity? He demanded. There's less sincerity, I'm sorry, you guys. Oh my God, I'm sorry. How about insincerity? He demanded. There's less sincerity and less honesty. If you're really attracted to a girl, you don't want another girl. But nowadays, there is less sincerity. That might be, Jonas said cautiously. When you meet people in New York, all you get is their bullshit, said Peter, not noticing that his paintbrushes were drying out. You get all their stuff and they tell you at parties. You get the same damn thing at these dinner parties until you just stop going. You cut down, Jonas agreed, and you go into the bathroom and you get a blowjob for someone in the fashion industry, Peter said. There was a brief and, if I'm not mistaken, awed silence. Then more Peter. It's not reality. It's not communicating. It's not sincere. It's just a moment in their stress-ridden lives. And I thought, I just wanted to get laid, Tad said. Alright, you guys. It's already almost at 18 minutes, so we're going to continue Chapter 8 on the next video. So, stay tuned, you guys. Holla back!